sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Here's Chris Claybrooks to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
They go play action now. Lawrence. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're going louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach. I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
60 outlaw. I'm coming after you. I'm coming. 61. Matchbox lights.
Mike, 45. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. He'll fight his man, LaVisca Chenault. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. James Robinson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Now this thing gets marked where it went out of bounds, so they're going to have really good starting field position near midfield. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start out here with the option left. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
From just shy of midfield, Bridgewater. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And some space here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, They don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They go play action. Bridgewater. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the field goal that cuts the lead in half as they, too, are able to get some points on their initial drive of the game.
Yeah, all in all, a pretty positive response, right, to the points that were scored against them. And they got a little help from their opponent anyway. Missed the conversion, so now they're just 3 back.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
A handoff for Etienne. You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
6-6, bullet high.
45 to Mike, 45 to Mike. You.
Hey, lock it. Down.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
Escaping the pressure right.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Box drop.
Check, 45 to Mike.
Yep.
45. Mike, 45. I got one.
Get it.
On third down, Lawrence.
Eluding the pressure right. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line.
Lawrence going to keep it again.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Now that's what he can do, you know, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Three yards remain for second down. They go play action with Lawrence.
His throw incomplete.
This defense for the Broncos, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Mike, 41. You got to watch that. You got block me.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That'll be caught right side, Chenault with it. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, Lawrence.
He sets up the screen to Jones. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They want to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit in the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
Coaching spell.
And they'll run with ETN.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Toss play to Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. James Robinson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. KJ Hamler returning it. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
He certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy,
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
And, can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out at me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right?
Yeah. 2nd and 10.
Bridgewater now. Forced out to his left. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Bridgewater.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
45. Mike, 45.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, please.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Working with a 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, Lawrence, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll start by running the option to the right. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Bridgewater. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And out of bounds right around the 20. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Here's Bridgewater. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Off the option, here's Williams. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Williams again. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Play fake. Bridgewater. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Josh Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And McManus able to put it through.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, that's the relief, that you still have the lead. But coaches look at...
Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Check right 45. Check right 45. You can't block me. You can't block me. Show it up. Show it up.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Flush to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head. 1, 2...
And looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7.
79 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Play action now. Bridgewater. They'll roll it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Come on, boys, come on.
On 2nd and goal, Bridgewater. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
To throw, Bridgewater. Flushed out right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, it creates a penalty.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Here's Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The kick by McManus is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
Hey, Alpha.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
And his throw is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, but it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Lawrence will throw. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
Ready, 60 Pittsburgh.
Now Lawrence on 1st down.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Hey, check Mike 45, check Mike 45. Hustle, hustle.
It's a throw again is Lawrence.
He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, Haywood.
Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
We got 4. We got 4.
Hey, I-7.
Hey, pick your game up.
9.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And able to find Alan Lazard. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Oh, that was never on target. It's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime.
On first and 10, Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Brings up second and a yard.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. Steps away. This is the tight end Fant. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Bridgewater. And that's complete. Albert Okuebuna. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They go play action. Bridgewater. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. Touchdown, Broncos.
Jerry Jeudy.
His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
Hey, 4-1 Mike, 4-1 Mike. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you.
Here's a give to Etienne.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Watch the pass. Mike 41,
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Play action. It's Lawrence.
And Ingram holds it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation. Let him sneak his way across. Coming back underneath. Put it in his hands. Let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now Lawrence to throw. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Lawrence. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia.
There he goes left side. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the 2nd half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Tackling's obviously critical down near the goal line. That was great work there to make the hit behind the line and make sure he doesn't get any further. Did a really nice job wrapping up and not letting him loose.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now Bridgewater. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Throwing, Bridgewater. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Dexter Lawrence drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. And McManus able to put it through. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this 3rd quarter. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
They're running 26-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Running out of the gun with ETN.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second down and 8. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Escaping the pressure right. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Bridgewater. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the Jags are right back in this football game. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Oh, you got deep? Mike 56, Mike 56. Hey, I can reach traps. Let's go.
Out.
Kill.
On the counter, ETN. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take the win.
Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 15.
22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 15.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check 3.
Rock it. Get it.
Here's Lawrence. Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bradley Chubb able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Bridgewater now. And this is caught by Watkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Play action now. Bridgewater. Dancing to his left. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
On first down, Williams. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Devon Hamilton drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So points so crucial in a tight game like this, but this kick off the goalpost, and that'll keep the score right where it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made this a 2-score game, but any cushion this late definitely would have helped. Now they need to ask their defense for another stop, and that's going to require some work.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And, oh, he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
And they'll run here with ETN.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down, but they are in field goal range already. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Rodrigo Blankenship with an important one.
This for the lead in the final stages. And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Boy, so a chance to take the lead here in this fourth quarter, but he couldn't get this one on target.
Everything looked good. The snap, the hold, even the distance. The only thing off, the most important part, the accuracy.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really... And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
His 2nd rushing touchdown of the year and 3rd overall.
And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. They do tack on the extra point as well, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And last time out, another missed field goal. So maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. Let's get it together.
Look, squeeze. Hey, Sam off. Go.
He'll look to throw. It's complete. Lazard. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understand where they are in the field?
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Go! Hey, exit!
Got four down. Check 3, check.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He's back to throw. And he fires one incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
4 down.
Hey, lock it!
Watch twins.
Yo, Cheetah! Now!
They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
He's great.
Hard! Hey, Echo! Get it!
To try again after the sack, Lawrence. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack, now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos are close to finishing off this football game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Broncos, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.